Jojo met Bob.
Joe Dowda built Jody.
Define your genetic structure. Pick your fur type. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. That will work. Adventure is in the air, despite the heat from the ground below, where ashes of fire wait to be woken. Oh no, they got you! Reeled in and off to a bad start. Tribes are out for Skronky Scrap. Your Whiffblin is up next. A tribe, tug of war, there is. I bet you can give it justice. Your melee super wushu is ready to go. Blasting everything to bits. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. Blasting everything to bits. I knew it! They couldn't shoot it down. The hulk's on the loose. Super Wushu is locked and loaded. Melee Super Wushu is ready to go. That emergency kit is from the old days when you needed to pack a punch to survive. Wow, bet that knock makes a tight fist. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear me? Chugga, chugga. Choo-choo! Big ones fall harder. The chug yard, where they parked the choo-choos and fueled them up. It's one of the few places that's aged well. It used to look like a dump. It's easy to walk the line when your karma is in balance. Spilled liquid soap is always a slippery slope. Who'd expect that? A bubble bobble big enough to go bang. A tried flip-flonker will throw you in at the deep end given the chance. This box once tailed a chugger. Now it's just off track. Tribes always scavenge. Big and bad. White a bonk, busy ram banging the door. This is your chance. Long Super Wushu is all wound up. Better diffuse that sprout before it blows up in your face. Yes, you can do anything. Only the sky is the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end. In flames. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I think he says he's surprised the tribe got a sprocket off ground. I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Not sure he's happy about that. Anyways, he says you owe him one, and he has something in mind. He's almost done with his latest creation, a Mekton. He just needs a little more scrap to get all the pieces fixed-stuck.
Why not talk?
Please, don't ask him too many questions. Wando is an old language, and the last time I heard it was in the old village. I think he likes you. From what I can tell, he wants to strike a deal. He also says you owe him one. He can't leave his underyard, so if you help him salvage the scrap he needs from an old skronk just outside, he'll let you take the Mekton for a ride into the dead zone. They're short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. For those that work metal, scrap from mech skronks like this are heavyweight. There are only a few reasons our world is dying, and all of them could have been avoided. The muck pups slide, patiently waiting for prey beneath the dead oil surface. The grease monkey's mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. That's a jumbo pup with an appetite. Ain't no fuss. Better put him in before it ends our world. Uh-oh, the jumbo pup is kicking it up a notch. It's time for an electric performance. Bad feeling about this. It goes all the way down to the stomach. Start like a snack and you'll end with a ride down the intestinal canal. That's too close to the end station. Better move up and away and be swept out the bowels. Look, it's out. From this point on, there's no way forward but going back in. Too close to the end station. Better move up and away, or be swept out the bowel way. What? See? It's what's on the inside that counts. That meaty Taurus is already off beat. End it. The Taurus is pumping at half a beat. You know what to do. Who would have guessed it would go down with a throw-up? Can it really get any better than that? And as one plague ends, hope for a new beginning lives on. The Tree of Life still stands, with the fate of the world in your hands. Question is, will you continue to defend it, or end it? Guess we'll just have to wait to find out. Your genetic structure. Pick your fur. Choose your fur style. Pick your mane color. Choose your detail color. Good choice. Adventure is in the air, despite the toxic smog hidden beneath the twigs and branches below. Oh no, they got you! Reeled in and off to a bad start. Tribes are out for Skronky Scrap. Your Whifflim is up next. A tribe tug-of-war there is. Bet you can give it just that. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. A big barrel made that. I knew it. They couldn't push down. One of them loose. Aims on. Your melee super wushu is ready to go. That emergency kit is from the old days when you needed to pack a punch to survive. Wow, bet that knock makes a tight fist. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Chugga, chugga, chugga. Choo choo! Made that one dead. The chug yard, where they parked the choo-choos and fueled them up. It's one of the few places that's aged well. It used to look like a dump. It's easy to walk the line when your karma is in balance. Spilled liquid soap is always a slippery slope. Who'd expect that? A bubble bobble big enough to go bang. A tried flip-flonker will throw you in at the deep end given the chance. This box once tailed a chugga. Now it's just off track. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, but they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around. One of the bunkers busy ram-banging the door. This is your place. that sprocket before it blows up in your face. Yes, you can do anything. Only the sky is the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end. In flames. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I think he says he's surprised the tribe got a sprocket off ground. I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Not sure he's happy about that. Anyways, he says you owe him one, and he has something in mind. He's almost done with his latest creation, a Mekton. He just needs a little more scrap to get all the pieces fix-stucked.
Why not talk?
Please, don't ask him too many questions. Wando is an old language, and the last time I heard it was in the old village. I think he likes you. From what I can tell, he wants to strike a deal. He also says you owe him one. He can't leave his underyard, so if you help him salvage the scrap he needs from an old skronk just outside, he'll let you take the Mekton for a ride into the dead zone. They're short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. For those that work metal, scrap from mech skronks like this are heavyweight. There are only a few reasons our world is dying, and all of them could have been avoided. The muck pups of the slime, patiently waiting for prey beneath the dead oil surface. The grease monkey's Mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. That's a jumbo puff with an apple. Ain't no fun. Better put it into it before it ends our world. Can't take much more. It's time for an electric performance. Bad feeling about this goes all the way down to the stomach. Start like a snack and you'll end with a ride down the intestinal canal. That's too close to the end station.
running this video. I'm sorry about that.
Working. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, so the big thing here is like the visual look is in tandem with the attributes.
Oh,
so you
cool.
see on the left-hand side here, you have kind of this DNA wheel. So there's 5 corners: strength, attributes, for example, intelligence, vitality, that's your health region. So they all, if you see on the right-hand side, they own certain statistics. But that's in tandem then with the look of your character. So not only do you change the visual look, but it also change the stats related to that look. So a big head, you get smart.
Funny that.
Yeah, and smartness is used then to psionic abilities, for example. So it gives you more powerful mental abilities, your kind of X-Men abilities. Because we don't only have biomutations, that are the physical ones, we also have the mental X-Men style abilities. So you also, as you can see, have full control over your fur style, all the coloring, etc. So we have, it's not only about the stats, it's also about personalizing your look. You can also play as female, which is very interesting.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Being a girl myself.
So, and later on in the game, you can actually recode your DNA again and change it, and obviously you can also upgrade your stats. It's a full-blown RPG in the background, so you can use your level up points to assign to different attribute groups.
Yeah.
Talked about that. It's 500,000 possible combinations.
My
the first
God.
year that we did that, So as you see here, this is from the demo, we're just randomizing weapon parts, just to give you an idea of what combinations are kind of possible. But in the real game, you're actually putting together all of these bits yourself. So in terms of combinations, each weapon type determines kind of the way that a weapon shoots. So you can have shotgun style, assault rifle style, revolver style. You can have a single-handed weapon, dual wield, two single-handed, but you can also wear a two-handed weapon, right? All of the bits come in different materials. They come in different qualities, and you can also add affixes to it. And affix is like, for example, a cryogenic module that will now enable the weapon to shoot frost bullets, for example. Another thing with our game is that you are not grinding for ammunition. We wanted you to be able to have that free-flowing style of being able to shoot almost at any time you want. The way that we control that, or give you the opportunity to actually upgrade the weapon, is by the size of the clips. So the bigger size, the more bullets you can fire before you go out of ammo, and you have a short period of cooldown, which also varies then from bit to bit. So that's ranged weapons.
Nice.
Different types of melee weapons, so hack, slash, pierce, crush. Same thing here.
Ouch.
Two single-handed dual wielding, or like this one, it's a two-handed weapon. Again, here you see a biocontaminated affix, so that affix will make enemies puke, and then also they take damage over time. So you get a little bit more time window to actually take them out. Same thing goes for them. They are existing in different qualities, different materials, and also then put the modules on that. So there's quite a lot to, player creativity, player freedom here to create their own variants of weapons.
That's great. That's amazing. So obviously you want the perfect world.
These pools spread out across the open world, so you can find them, and that's where you can actually unlock, upgrade, and gain new physical mutations, hence biomutations. In order to do that, you have to have biopoints, and you get them by defeating these infected, biocontaminated creatures called morks. For each mork you defeat, you get a biopoint, but also they're quite dangerous because they're contaminated and they infect you. So types of mutations you will get, like big crab pinchers on your back. You'll be able to pinch people, lift them up, throw them away. But you can also get like a mutated shoulder that you can reflect bullets on enemies if they shoot at you. And there's quite a few of them that you can mix into your arsenal of creative combat, but also traversal. The other strain of mutations is what we call psionic mutations, so your X-Men mutations. You gain those, upgrade, unlock those by finding bunkers beneath the world, surface of the world, where it's old radioactive broken down machines. So kind of Bruce Banner going, and the Hulk.
Hulking
so
out.
you can see here the poor character is being exposed to radioactivity.
It's a little bit painful.
Yeah, I'm looping it here also, so it becomes more extreme. Yeah. But that's how you unlock those type of X-Men type of abilities. I want to show you a few of these. So this is kind of a bubble, a mental sphere, but in our game it's not a force field, it's more like a soap bubble or a gel bubble. And again, you see that they're shooting at him, it's reflecting bullets, but what happens if you mix that with an ability, for example, like this one, levitate? So now you are levitating inside that gel bubble.
Amazing.
So what happens if you land? I'll leave that to you to figure it out.
Bad things happen to the people you're fighting, I assume?
Maybe you're bouncing.
Oh yeah, that's
so again, we're trying to figure out whimsical, cool ways for the player to explore and mix and match things. Here's another then, telekinesis, also an X-Men type of ability.
Yes, gold Jean Grey, definitely.
You can lift different things, let it up to the player to figure out what you can lift and how you can combine that with the other powers in the game. I would like to touch on the third leg of this, even if people don't have 3 legs, but animals walk on 4, so maybe that's cool. So it's bionics, so it's like prosthetic and enhancements to the character, and they're a mix between things that you can use in combat, as we see in this video as well. Later on, I'll show you that, and then this video is more about exploration. I saw the bow, that's what I was reacting to. But in this clip, I'm actually showing you how you can use the bionic bow for traversal. So I'm shooting an arrow into the mountainside, and I think this is the only game I know where you actually can grab the arrow after you shoot it and follow it through the air.
That's Legolas stuff right there.
That I'm doing here on levitate, because here it's actually using as an area of effect damage type of thing. And obviously a power fist.
Definitely.
Why not?
You've got to be able to hit things super hard.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're trying to give you as much as possible in terms of an arsenal of creative.
Fine.
So we're talking about different biomes. So we haven't shown a lot of those biomes. There's currently 7 different, like distinctly different looking areas in the world, and you saw a glimpse of the first one here in the background of this furry creature. They all have kind of different creatures, different type of enemies, and also the key characters that you can meet in the world. There's a number of them, are also obviously then spread out across the world. We also see that in this video that we have a dynamic weather system, but also seasonal system. And this is not only just visual. You see he's running across the ice here, and again, traversing the world. This is one way that we're gating you. So for example, it becomes cold, right? What happens to water? So before, you see that he can't really swim. You see in one of these clips here, he's sprawling like a dog.
Yeah.
So you can swim for shorter stretches, but what happens when the water freezes? So maybe you then can access other areas of the world that you couldn't before. We also see he's running from oil here. So part of the story in the world is that it's, like I said, it's currently being going under, right? And part of that is